Gabrielle Bernstein, better known as Gabi, is a spiritual teacher and best-selling author of 7 books, her latest one being the one we will cover in this video. Her book, Super Attractor, pulls from her deep experiences such as overcoming addiction and her vast knowledge to create an incredible resource for anyone looking to level up their life through spiritual means. Gabi covers 11 different topics and methods in her book, each meant to build upon the previous one, and lead us directly into deeper connection and alignment with the universe. To help you understand the main idea of her book, I will focus on 3 of those methods. While each one may be different, they all come together to help us become capable of manifesting our greatest desires. Or as Gabi calls it, stepping into our super attractor power. Before we jump in, take a second to hit that like button. It helps support this channel and makes this video easier to find for people who will benefit from it. Okay, let's jump right in. The first idea we will cover is called the Choose Again method. This practice has been foundational in Gabi's journey and is one she continues to rely on with each new challenge she faces. This method consists of 3 simple steps. Step 1 is to notice the thought. When you are feeling a negative feeling such as fear or anger or despair, it's easy for that feeling to escalate and cause you to spiral into more hurtful thoughts and even action. But rather than trying to fight the thought or ignore it, Gabi advises us to notice it. Give yourself a chance to fully feel the feeling. Step 2 is to forgive the feeling. Every emotion that we feel is communicating something, even the negative ones. When we understand this, we can begin to use them as guidance away from what we don't want and towards what we truly desire. Forgive the feeling by gently releasing it and moving on to step 3. In step 3, we choose again. We should ask the question, what is the best feeling thought I can find right now, and set our focus onto it. Using a journal to write down your new choice is a great way to speed up the effects of this method. By choosing again, you give yourself the opportunity to realign your thinking with what will help move you forward instead of relishing in what will keep you stuck. Remember, a belief is just a thought you keep thinking. So if you want different beliefs, then begin by thinking different thoughts. I love the simplicity of this method, and while reading the book, I actually had several instances where I applied it. The sooner we learn how to guide our thinking, the sooner the universe will step in and guide us. The second big idea is called the emotional guidance scale, and this is how it works. The idea was originally described by Abraham Hicks and is meant to help people move from low, unhelpful emotions to higher, more beneficial ones. The problem is, most people don't understand which emotions are actually more beneficial than others. I know I didn't until I started reading this chart. The emotional guidance scale is numbered 1 through 22 and contains the following emotions: joy or appreciation, passion, enthusiasm, positive expectation, optimism, hopefulness, contentment, boredom, pessimism, frustration, impatience, overwhelm, disappointment, doubt, worry, blame, discouragement, anger, revenge, hatred, jealousy, insecurity, and fear or despair. In her book, Gabi tells the story of her friend's son named Jack, who didn't get picked for a baseball team he was hoping to get on. Jack came home in despair. He felt as though the whole world was against him. Gabi sat him down and began to talk him through what happened and how he felt. As Jack explained his side of the story, he became angry and eventually disappointed. Most people wouldn't see this as any progress, but Gabi understood the emotional guidance scale, which showed that Jack had actually made incredible progress by moving from despair to disappointment. Within a few hours, Jack was bored, and by the end of the day, he was back to feeling happy. Many times in our lives, it's incredibly difficult to move out of the negative state we are in all the way to feeling happy again. So instead, we should learn to utilize this chart and realize that even other quote-unquote negative emotions can be an improvement and get us one step closer to feeling like ourselves again. The third and final idea we will cover is called the spiritually aligned action method. In 2008, Gabi was living in New York City and right at the beginning of her career as a speaker and author. One day while working, she got an idea for a story that would be a perfect fit for the style section in the New York Times. And through a series of events, she actually had a contact there. So she called him immediately, laid out the story, and released her control of the outcome. Months went by and still no answer. Gabi could have let herself fall into frustration, but instead she chose to be patient. She chose to believe that the universe had her highest good in mind and that its timing would be the best case scenario. After 9 months, her contact called her back, and within 24 hours, the story was underway. The timing ended up lining up perfectly because the story came out only weeks before her new book launch. The additional publicity catapulted her into the public eye and led to more opportunities than she knew what to do with. We can harness the same power of this method using the following 4 steps. Step 1, make sure your desire is backed by inspiration and service. Gabby wanted to share her story with the New York Times because she knew she could genuinely help the woman reading that section. Her motivations were pure and other-focused. Step 2 is to believe the universe will deliver. A mantra Gabby lives by is this or something better. When we are able to let go of the specifics, we invite all kinds of miracles to enter our lives. Step 3 is to take action from a place of spiritual alignment. Gabby was able to take confident action because she knew she was acting in alignment with something bigger than herself. She wanted to help others and was open to whatever that might look like. This allowed the action she did take to feel effortless. Step 4 is to have patience. Those who are certain of an outcome can afford to wait. Gabby knew that whatever the outcome of this specific opportunity, the universe was always working for her highest good, and so she could be patient. Patience requires us to stop controlling and start allowing things to happen naturally. When we can do that, we will be amazed by the expansion and peace we feel. If you are looking to dive into the spiritual side of self-help and want an expert to guide you along your path, I highly recommend checking out Gabby's new book, Super Attractor. Let me leave you with one more of my favorite quotes from her book. Feeling good is a radical act of creation. If this video made you feel good and you found it helpful, hit that subscribe button. I make new book summary videos like this every week. Thank you again for watching. My name is David, and I will see you next time, my friend.